It's mic'd up with Mikey Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up, but he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Chico can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad Jones.
6 minutes.
For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Chico can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for
Good
the
show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle?
My dad tell you about it.
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should all
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants. Hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Friday, June 6th. Happy Carter 6 Day. Lloyd, Carter 6 released today. Obviously, no free ads, but whatever. We're all Lil Wayne fans. They're not going to, Carter 6 ain't going to sponsor the show.
About 6 good ones on there.
No. Let's go about 9. Nine that we like. There's 19 songs on there, so about half.
I can fix it.
We're working on it. I think some may get better as you listen to them. Some are what they are. But we're not here to talk about that or music because we're not anywhere equipped to do that. We're here to talk about college baseball, specifically LSU baseball, but you have 16 teams remaining. Regional play starts right now. North Carolina is playing, starting off today against Arizona, and they are whooping that ass. It's 12-2. I think in the bottom of the 6th, they just went to commercial. They're obviously in Chapel Hill. They're playing at home in that regional. And that's followed by 3 more games today. Miami at Louisville is the second game today. Florida State at Oregon is the third game today. And Coastal at Auburn is the finale of the day. And then you got 4 more tomorrow, including the LSU game. Lot of conversation, lot to talk about. We got Lloyd, who's on time.
That's right.
Set the alarm for noon today. Was here.
I did. I set it for 11:45.
Yep, and you're here. I appreciate that. We got J Mitch in his home.
Please tell people you actually got up early in the morning to do some shit too, man. Don't let people think that this is what you do.
Oh no, Lloyd had a show. Lloyd had the 7 a.m. show this morning.
I know. I just wanted to let people know, like, Lloyd's not waking up at 11:45 for the day.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I do just on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
That'd be wild. That'd be a wild deal.
Fuck up.
Yeah. I think some people may actually think that, Lloyd, to be honest with you.
Maybe,
But you know,
if you're not a fan of me, I feel bad for you because I'm used in a lot of different roles out of just necessity. So they probably see me more than they would like to. Whether
they do. They're
watch party, colada here. Like it turns into a lot of
no more
content.
colada. Tingle and Co.
Oh,
now.
Tingle and Co. now.
Yeah.
And so there tends to be a lot of Lloyd content out there. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Oh, it's okay. I think
not a
people
lot of
like it.
producers.
You got a lot of fans out there.
not a lot of producers.
We got Jay Mitch is in his home of the hotel, his second home, which is the hotel room. And then our Friday guest, our normal Friday guest, part of the show on our Fridays, founder of the SEC Unfiltered, LSU fan, as you can see, Chris Phillips. Welcome, buddy.
Hey, boys, what are you saying?
Welcome. You look good.
Hey.
New gear. Wear the new gear.
Purple was my favorite. Purple was my color, I guess. It does look fitting on me. So
You got some things-
Only good thing I ever heard come out of West Virginia was moonshine. They
you
don't play
go.
baseball up there.
There you go.
Don't tell my wife that.
Don't tell my wife that.
oh,
There you go. You got some stuff in the background now. We're making some progress in the place.
So this is the setup side of the studio. This side over here, which is Jay, Mitch, Lloyd, Mikey. If you guys ever venture to Nashville, this is the side you'd be sitting on for the in-person interview. Still working on setting up this side, putting together some stuff. This is the put together side. But bro, the polo is the star of the show, man. The cool down NIL package came through. So
there you go.
Hey, let's have a damn week. I'm
Hey.
fired up, man.
I like it.
I'm fired. I feel like I look good. We're gonna play good. They pay good.
That's
Let's have
it.
a weekend.
I love that's what you want. That's what you want. Let's have a weekend. Let's jump right into the weekend conversation. Obviously, we got games on today. Let's jump right into the LSU conversation.
well, real quick.
Okay, not real quick.
Chris, I just want to let you know, be careful of what you do tonight because you do have games to cover tomorrow. I saw what happened last week.
Yeah.
It was we big leagued the radio spot on Friday. Had some friends coming to town. Broadway, sometimes you just gotta hold the L. You know, sometimes no need to be the bush. Just hold the L. It is what it is. And just like LSU lost to Little Rock, I lost to Broadway. We bounced back though. We bounced back. We actually went back on. Off the bench. I had my redemption show. I think it was Tuesday morning. I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go. We had a great show. So it is what it is.
How did you back out of the big league? Like, how'd you walk your way back from that?
Like, how did I?
Yeah, like you missed the show.
Myself?
Yeah, you missed the show.
I just hit him up and said, "I'm so sorry. I just completely slept through my alarm and everything else." So,
yeah, honestly, the best
God,
policy.
there was no. I just woke up and it was 8:30 and I was like, well, 7:30 was an hour ago. So there's no
Not
going.
good. Wait! I thought you were talking about like 8:30 Pacific Coast time. I'm sorry.
I just moved
No,
here.
I just got here. Time
zones are really throwing me off.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm glad you got back on the horse.
Don't give Lloyd more ammunition, okay? Like, listen, don't do that.
Listen, I'd be a bad influence on Lloyd because I don't wake up guys till about 9 o'clock. So that's
Good for you. I can't do that.
You told me you woke up to work out at 4:30, and I was like, man, I feel worse about myself all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, I have to. You have, it's just my schedule only allows for it. There you go.
Pillow can't. Oh, it's all good.
There you go. Get it in
Fun
there.
about this, by the way, I had a buddy of mine, Vandy buddy, that he gave me a 6 milligram last weekend. We were at the tailgate before Vandy obviously fell in their regional. He gave me a 6, though. I've been doing 3s. I had nowhere to put it, obviously, so I just threw it in here. So one of the 6, it might have been that one. We'll let the gods decide.
Wow,
it's fate.
a little Russian roulette.
Zen roulette.
Yeah, it's a Russian roulette. So we'll find out. But
wow,
yeah,
good for you. All right.
Know.
Yeah, we'll know. We'll be able to tell when you start sweating. Let's talk a little of this LSU baseball game. You talk about West Virginia. The only good thing coming out of West Virginia is moonshine. Obviously, they're not a baseball school. Last year they were a good baseball team. They had a top 5 pick in the draft, maybe top 10 pick in the draft in their shortstop. They're doing it again this year. They're playing really well. They're not a team that's going to hit a ton of homers. They're going to drive guys in by being scrappy at the plate. They hit a ton of doubles. Their ace, I believe, is going to be throwing game 1. I think he's a left-handed pitcher. He's got their best numbers. What's the take on West Virginia. Obviously, admittedly, I don't know a ton about them other than what I've seen recently in the postseason. Jay, I'll start with you. What do you know about them, the research you've done about them? Because, they're obviously ACC, not here, but I'd imagine you've done a little bit of background on them.
So I'll just go like this. I haven't gone as deep as putting like individual names together, but I'll just say this. I think we would all basically sit here and say this is a down year, if you want to call it that, for LSU's power. And we see this team as like a doubles hitting ball club. Well, West Virginia's hit one more double than LSU has in the season. They've also hit one more triple than LSU has in the season. Now, admittedly, I'll sit here and tell you that LSU's hit a lot more homers than them. But obviously what you can tell is they can drive the ball on the gap, and they're an older bunch, especially in the lineup. So they're experienced. So I'm interested to see how much Alex Box may get to them playing in that environment and how much that can affect them early. I do think the way for LSU to have a real path and winning the series and kind of doing it convincingly, if they can do it this way, is kind of what Jay talked about, what he thought was good baseball on Wednesday in terms of their first couple starters are really the strength of their pitching staff. There's a couple other guys in the bullpen that have given them very solid innings, but the quicker you can get into that pen, the better off you are. Now, obviously, Jay talked about the other day, too, that those guys will throw all day. They'll throw a million pitches, so that won't be easy, but that's the route you need to take to being able to beat this ball club. And you can't let off the gas when you get them down. As you saw last week, they were down, I think, 12-5 or something like that in the seventh inning, I believe, against Kentucky, and still came back and won that ball game. So, like, they're a scrappy bunch, they're an experienced bunch, and they're going to be looking for a fight coming down in this one.
Chris, what's your take on West Virginia? You're the baseball guy, so you have the national baseball scene a little bit more covered than we do over here. So, what's your take on West Virginia as a team, or what you've seen from them here recently?
Yeah, in all seriousness, this is a really good club. Really scrappy, blue collar, I think is the way you describe them. Like you mentioned, they're not gonna hit a bunch of home runs, but they. From watching them, and admittedly, like you said, I haven't watched every single West Virginia baseball game this season, but I watched a lot of them in the regional. They tend to make the right baseball play, right? They're kind of like a Kentucky or maybe like an Oklahoma was this year, where they're not going to wow you. It's not very sexy, but if there's a runner on third, less than 2 outs, they're going to hit the ground ball to second if the middle infield's back, and they're going to get the run in. Like, they're going to do small stuff like that. They're going to get the bunt down. They're going to play small ball. It's just a fundamentally sound group, and I am curious. Jay Mitch mentioned like how they handle Alex Box. This is a team, though, in a program. Granted, it's a different group, but it's a program that went to, and I know it's different, but went to Chapel Hill last year in a super regional, right, and nearly took the super. So, I don't know that they'll get the big eyes necessarily. Maybe, I mean, again, Alex Box is nothing like anything else in college baseball. I do think for them, though, it starts, you mentioned their pitching staff, their bullpen. I mean, it's going to start with Griffin Kearns on Saturday night. I mean, he's their dude, easily their best pitcher, 95 innings pitched. Has got a 5-2 win-loss, but 16 starts for them, 3.13 ERA, 100 strikeouts on the year. That matchup with he and Cade Anderson is going to be really fun. And also, too, for LSU, at times they've struggled to hit the left-handed pitcher, and they're going to face an elite one on Saturday. So if LSU can get that game won, I think for West Virginia, if there was a path for them to come in and pull the upset, they probably got to get game one, because I think after him, I would assume they'll go Kartsonis, I think it is, who's got the second most starts, and he's only got 8. He doesn't have a ton of starts. But
there's a guy there that's got 13 starts, but he's only got 39 innings pitched. So, like, do they do like a piggyback thing?
I think he's been more of their midweek guy, honestly. I think he's been midweek more.
Gavin Van Kempen, maybe it's a midweek thing or an opener thing or what have you, and then they've got the Reese Bassinger kid who's got 29 appearances and 61 innings pitched, and he's been a big-time bullpen arm for them. No starts on the year. But, I think, listen, for LSU, they're favored. They should be favored. You should expect to win. But I think it is a team, and everybody this time of year is good. I don't think you got to the Final 16 if you're not a good ball club, but I think for LSU, it's all about executing the fundamentals and doing the little things right. I know that's such coach speak, but it really does come down to that this time of year. I think for LSU guys, one of the big keys is just that timely hitting and situational hitting. Like, there's only so many times you can leave the bases loaded and live to tell the tale. That was kind of what LSU did at times over the weekend against Little Rock. Granted, Little Rock was red hot, but it's a scrappy West Virginia team, no doubt. And if you get in a dogfight with them late, I think it could get a little more interesting than we hope.
Yeah, Jared.
I'll say this too. I want to add this part in too. Like, I think he talked about their way or their best route to winning is getting game one. And I also do think their best route to winning is not getting game one super convincingly. Like, you have someone, you have a good matchup with Cade, you have a close game at the end, you make LSU use some of their better arms to try to end the game, and you steal that game. That way, if you do get them again on the weekend, you get them on either a back-to-back or a little bit of a short rest. I do think that that's their best route. And like you mentioned, you got to remember last year, that West Virginia team had a shortstop who was a top draft pick, right? So they've seen top talent. They went to Chapel Hill last year and almost beat them in that regional. And like you said, I agree. Chapel Hill is not Alex Box. But when you have talent on your team and you go there and you get close and you got unfinished business, I do think they have the mindset of, okay, we saw what something maybe similar to it is if they feel that way. And we know what top talent looks like. And a lot of us are still here. Let's go finish the job. So, I think they're coming in here in a different mindset than probably where they were last year, being in a spot they're not really that used to being in.
Let's flip it to LSU now. So obviously, if West Virginia is going to come in there, I think that they've gotten through the whole, hey, we almost lost to Little Rock. There's no obviously taking anybody for granted. It's a super regional. It's 2 wins. You get to Omaha. So I think they're going to obviously not be shocked about West Virginia being a good baseball team. But on the LSU side, you obviously have Kay Anderson. You have Anthony Ianson, 2 aces. Both have been lights out throughout the course of the year. But as Chris mentioned, this past weekend, you had some moments, especially in that first Little Rock game, where you left some guys on. Offense didn't come through, which is part of the game sometimes. They did it on Monday night, but they did it with a different lineup and a different structure to the lineup. You had guys, obviously Bear Jones was hitting 6-hole instead of 2-hole. They moved Ethan Fry up to the 2-hole. He's the hottest guy in the lineup right now. Do you think, Jared, that the lineup is going to be similar to that going into this weekend, or do you think that it's going to be, okay, you keep Fry there and you move Jared Jones back up, or do you think Jared's in the 6-hole for the time being?
That's a good question. And I really do think that's a roll the dice type of situation, man. I don't know, man. I think, Jay kind of talked about it a little bit. It seemed like they felt like he had been putting in the work necessary with the right mindset necessary, and then he hits the homer in that last at bat. I wonder if a coach that feels that way and saw him working that way says, now he's back, let me get some protection right behind him and move that way. So I wouldn't be shocked if he did it that way, or I wouldn't be shocked if he said, you know what, I think I need to keep this lineup like this, maybe, or something similar to that. Maybe he doesn't stay in the 6, maybe he moves up to the 5 or the 4, maybe he does something like that. But maybe he keeps it somewhat similar like that because of how hot Ethan Fry is and how he's swinging the bat. Maybe he feels he's better equipped for the 2-hole today than Bear Jones is, and he may go about it that way. But I think that's a very interesting one on how he approaches it and what he does with it. And then let's just say if you go either route, what if it doesn't work in game 1? What if you don't have much offensive production? Does it stay like that in game 2, whether you win or lose, or does it change? It's an interesting situation.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a feel thing. I think that's a feel thing for a coach. You feel like that swing got Bear going, got his swagger back a little bit, because all it takes is one, or do you say, hey, it worked on Monday, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, I don't know if there's even a right or wrong answer there. It's just there's a reason Jay gets paid the big bucks, so he's got to make that call.
Well, look, I think that if they do decide to move Jared back up in the lineup, I do believe it's going to be – I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Jared hitting 3-hole, Fry hitting 2-hole, and say you got Fry and Bear Jones back-to-back. I believe if you're going to move him up, it's going to be back-to-back. You're not going to have the whole – Jared Jones hitting 2, Dickinson hitting 3, Fry hitting 4 or 5, like that was the case earlier in the series, I think, or in the regional. I think you're going to see 2 and 3 if they decide to move him back up. I don't think that you're going to move Fry out of that spot.
Well, let me ask you this: if you saw them, whatever route they go, if you saw them doing it, what would be your reasoning, or why would you think they would do it that way?
Well, I think that's the same thing you've been saying all year, right? Like, who's going to be the guy protecting who? Right, who's going to be the guy that's giving the opposing pitcher nightmares? Someone that you're scared of. The question early in the season was who's going to step up and be the guy behind Bear Jones to provide the pop in the lineup. Ethan Fry's done that. So now that you have that guy and you move Jared Jones back, are you going to be in that same situation where you have the 2-hole guy hitting for pop behind him, nobody that's really threatening, or you put two guys in a row where it kind of threatens the opposing pitchers consistently, every single time you face them back to back.
Yeah, I like that.
That would be. I mean, that would be the reasoning that I would do that. You'd want to keep those two guys there and make that murderer's row. Not saying the other guys haven't played well because they have, But I will say this: I did not mind Luis Hernandez at the 8-hole. I know that he's not really an 8-hole guy, but that gives you a little thump at the bottom of the lineup, especially when you got Milam and those guys swinging it better. So it obviously worked out that way. I don't know if you keep him at the 8-hole. If you move Jared Jones back up, I would imagine Luis Hernandez is probably going to move up into that 6-hole.
I would imagine so too, but I think that's the one thing that is confusing. I won't even say confusing for me, but like you said, this is Jay's style of coaching. He's gonna put this lineup in a position that he thinks is best for the squad. But it's also one of those things where it's like I always feel like when guys start producing like that, those big kind of guys in the middle, they somewhat do need to be back to back. And I'm not saying anything bad at all about Dickinson. He's a hell of a player, and he's produced this year as well. But at that point, I know if Dickinson steps in the box, and I know if Ethan Fry steps in the box, if both of them are producing, the pitcher's going to feel a little bit better. I mean, a little bit worse about facing Ethan Fry.
Right.
He's going to feel like I got to be a little bit better about facing Ethan Fry. And that's just the facts of it, right? So with that being said, it's like, all right, well, if you do make them back to back, do you slide Dickinson up to the 3 and move one back? Slide Dickinson up to the 2 and move one back to the 3 so you can have him back to back? Or do you put him behind those two back to back? It's like, how do you put those things together at that point? Because Dickinson's I think he may have been a little bit better than advertised being, because his splits too against righties and lefties are virtually the same. So he is literally almost like a plug and play player at this point, right? So it's like, how do you maneuver that, and what do you want to do with that?
Yeah. No, it's like you said, I think Chris said it right. It's a feel thing. What are you going to do? Who do you feel like is going to be in that spot? Because it's like, 1A and 1B. You're hitting 3 or you're hitting 4, you're hitting 4, you're hitting 5. It's just, what do you think is going to optimize? And I think what we've seen from Jay throughout the course of his career is it's not always about, hey, we're going to hit the best guys back to back to back to back to back. How is it? What can I do to make our lineup as dangerous for as long as it can possibly be? Whether that means the guys maybe should be hitting 3-hole, but I may put him in the 6-hole because it gives us some versatility in the lineup. I don't know, but he likes that. He thinks that way, lefty, righty, that whole type of stuff. So it should be interesting to see how he kind of maneuvers that. And
make that pitcher work every frame. Make it work every frame.
Yep, no doubt. And that's kind of what happened in the Monday game, and that's hopefully they can continue that this weekend. Before we go into some of the other games, I wanted to get your opinion on this, Chris, because I know a lot of people have been talking about it, and we haven't really hit on it in too much detail yet. SEC had 13 teams make it to a regional, 4 teams advanced. Percentage is obviously not great. What's your take on the SEC? Because I know a lot of people said, "Oh, they're overrated. They shouldn't have had that many teams. RPI is overinflated for the SEC." Blah 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 blah. What's your take on that?
Yeah, there's an attack on the SEC right now. I think there's a lot of people that have been waiting to get their licks in. And it wasn't a great weekend for the league. I think to say the league's overrated though, listen, there's a reason the SEC is rated where it is. Look at the last, 5 national champions? Right. I mean, I rest my case there. It's the best league in the country. So if there's anybody that deserves the benefit of the doubt, it is the SEC. But here's the thing, because I felt the same way going into Monday. I was like, and even Tuesday was like, was it that? It felt like a brutal weekend for the league. But guys, if you look back at last year, only 5 teams made it to the super regional round. We got 4 right now. It's unfortunate, obviously, that Tennessee and Arkansas, one of those de facto is going to be eliminated. But I think last year it felt like, and the SEC did dominate, but you had half the field in Omaha was SEC, both the teams the national title, obviously the national champion. And maybe we're spoiled a little bit where it's like we're complaining that, getting 3 to Omaha wouldn't be great. It is still pretty good, actually, to get that many. And I still think the SEC is going to have a great shot to obviously be in the finals and win the national championship. But, yeah, I mean, when you have the number 1 overall national seed go down like Vandy did, and you have Texas go down, the regular season champion, and, Florida and Alabama, you both felt like, hey, if you were going to go anywhere, You take the mid-major road trip, and it just didn't go well for either. Certainly, Coastal Carolina fans and East Carolina fans, I think they've been in my DMs and mentions all week long, letting me know how great of a pick that was, going with the Gators. But, yeah, I mean, listen, it wasn't a great weekend, I think, and I heard something you said. I was listening to you guys on Wednesday, and I thought you hit the nail on the head, Mikey, from the college baseball perspective. College baseball is in a great place. You said that because there's a lot of parity. There's a lot of great players all over the country. I don't think that should also indicate or take away like the SEC is not a good league.
Right.
You get 13 teams in, you're going to stack more losses than others. I don't think it means those teams didn't deserve to be there.
Correct.
It is. Look at the draft picks. Look at the titles, like the national champions. It's the best conference in the country. It's still the best college baseball. It's just baseball's a funny game, man.
It's hard.
Baseball's a really funny game, and it's hard. It's very hard to win. It's very hard, despite what some SEC fan bases think, to get to Omaha. It's not your birthright. It has to be earned. It's not given. And so, yeah, I mean, listen, it was not a great weekend for the SEC. I think we can all acknowledge that. If Vandy and Texas win, are we having the same conversation? I don't think we are, but the fact of the matter is they didn't. Also, Ole Miss loses to a 4-seed Murray State, which credit to the Racers. I think they were the best 4-seed in the tournament, and they showed why, because that was no fluke. I mean, they went in there and just kicked their asses. I mean, everybody in that regional.
I mean, Murray State beat them, what, 3 times? No, twice.
Yeah. And I thought Jay Mitch made a good point, too, on Wednesday, where he said, and I thought you put this beautifully, Texas's 2025 season, as funny as it sounds, it came down to a 3-game series at home against UTSA, and they got swept. I mean, that's what it came down to, which is crazy to think about, but it's just the reality. So I don't think it's as bad. There's a saying, it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems. I don't think it's as bad as it seems, but, there was a lot of bloodshed on the opening weekend to the SEC. So I will tell you this. I think this weekend for the league is massive from the standpoint of what goes down in Baton Rouge and what goes down in Auburn, Alabama. Because as long as I think we get the 3 to Omaha, it's like, okay, we're back to level. Everything's right again in the world. And not that there's any extra pressure needed because there's a ticket to Omaha on the line. But for the conference, if LSU or Auburn were to go down, it'd be a tough look.
Yeah.
And that the Vultures would come back out, and they'd circle back out, and we'd deal with this all over again. So, wasn't a great weekend, but to be making – and it's funny, too, guys. Let's go ahead and get this out there. This is fair weather college baseball media season, where a lot of people who haven't watched college baseball, haven't talked about college baseball, they don't really care about college baseball, if we're being honest. They're starting to talk about it. They want to get into it, the conversation. Like, Danny Cannell, I don't need your opinion on college baseball. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, just leave it alone, my guy. No, people are using what happened over the weekend and use it as a dunk on the conference. It's like, brother, you don't know the difference between a fungo and a base hit. You don't even know what I'm talking about. So it's just, there's a lot of people that took the opportunity to try to slam dunk on the league. And listen, at the tops, it is what it is.
No doubt. I'm about to say that.
Look, I'll add to this, too. I think it's kind of crazy what can you really dunk when the last 5 national championships have come from this league? What can you really dunk when we go ahead and look at the first round of the draft and look at how many of those guys are coming out of this league? What can you really dunk when right now there's still 4 teams in the super regionals, and if it wasn't for one of them being 2 of them being matched up against each other, you could possibly still have 4 like you had last year in Omaha, which now you still have a possibility of getting 3. So, like, to me, I think it's kind of goofy that we dunk. Like, I get it. 4 out of 13 is not the best winning percentage you want. Yeah, I understand that. But you still got a chance to put the same amount of teams in the College World Series almost in as you did last year. Now, I will say this. My last whole point about this is I wonder how much, think about it, the last 5 national champions have been from the SEC. Think about how much of the analytical data and world of baseball has, I guess, progressed since 2020 till today. And think of how much of that stuff is as prevalent as it is today compared to 2020. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because small schools are still smaller schools, but are they using, or do they have access? Are they using more of that data? And is that allowing them to catch up today? Now, obviously, we know it's still hard for small schools to continue to be the same program year in and year out because their best players get picked off. But if that access is more accessible, I mean, if that data is more accessible to them today, are they using it? Are they using it correctly? And maybe that has what it's kind of wide or shortened the gap, if you will, in terms of one time, 1 weekend series.
And Jay Mitch, you make the point too. 5 national champions, the last 5 different teams.
No doubt.
That won it.
Well, and I want to
speak depth of the league.
And I want to go back. Let's go back past the last 5. Okay? We can go all the way back to 08. From 08 until 2024, you've had at least one SEC team playing in the national championship game, except for the 2016 season where you had Coastal beat Arizona. Every other season, to almost 20 years, you've had an SEC team in the finals of Omaha. Like, you can talk.
That's not bias.
I mean, that's almost 20 years. I mean, you've had 17 straight years. You've had somebody from the SEC in there. You had LSU. Let's go. Fresno State beat Georgia. LSU, South Carolina, Arizona beat South Carolina. I forgot South Carolina was going for a 3-peat. That's wild. The next season, UCLA beat Mississippi State. Vanderbilt beat Virginia. Virginia then went back and beat Vanderbilt the next year. 16 was the Coastal Arizona season. Florida beat LSU in the national championship in 17. Oregon State beat Arkansas, which should have been another national championship for the SEC if senior didn't get selfish and try to make the last out. But we're not going to talk about that. Vanderbilt beat Michigan in 19, canceled COVID. Then you get to Mississippi State beat Vanderbilt, Ole Miss beat Oklahoma, LSU beat Florida, Tennessee beat Texas A&M. Like, what are we talking about? Where's the argument? I mean, you've had 17 straight years where you had an SEC team in the finals like that. I mean, that's straight. 16 out of 17 years, you've had SEC team in the finals. What are we talking about?
It makes me excited selfishly, guys, because in a few short days we'll be embarking to Omaha. And I just can't wait after. And there's so many that I've seen on social media that I'm friends with that cover college baseball, that cover it outside the SEC, obviously. There's so many there, and it's all in good fun. But I just can't wait to watch the SEC run through it again and just whoop ass. And we'll just be standing there yet again in the finals. It's like, he was talking all that shit. Here we are yet again. I mean, y'all wanted to act surprised. Like, y'all sure are quiet now. So, yeah, it's everybody want to get their licks in, and that's fine. But, hey, we still got about 3 more weeks of baseball to go, and I'd almost guarantee you there's at least going to be 1, if not 2, which the irony of that, if we still got an SEC on SEC final, would just be
Is that possible?
But I think Auburn would have to come out of that side.
Auburn's the only one on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, and then it'd have to be either LSU, Arkansas, or Tennessee. Yeah. One of those. Yeah.
Well, look, before the year started, before even Texas got off to a hot start, Arkansas, Tennessee, and LSU were the 3 teams in the SEC that everybody thought were going to be in Omaha. And all 3 of them have 2 of the 3 have a chance. Well, actually, all 3 have a chance. 2 of them could potentially get there at the same time, but obviously, NCAA had to do the whole SEC has to be matched up with SEC so that we can't have too many SEC teams in there.
That said, Arkansas Tennessee is going to be elite.
That's going to be an elite series.
It's an Omaha
series. Too, I saw this. This is what you really could get if you use stuff like this. Like there's so much of this going on in baseball. So like Vitello coached under Van Horn for 10 years. I think there's reports out there that I don't know if it was his first car, but it was while he was there. Van Horn bought Vitello a car. Here's the best part about it. You can check me on this, fact check me on this, but I think it's been either 20 or 25 years since Tennessee has beaten Arkansas in a series. And that's about to go down in Arkansas right now. Tell me you can't get storylines out of that.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think it was 20. I don't know if it was 20 or 25 years, but over 20 years. It's been. And I also heard Vitello and Van Horn don't really like each other. I've heard that too. I don't know if that's true or not. If that's just rumor.
I think there's a mutual respect. They got really chippy a few years ago, but I've also heard. I mean, literally, Tony Vitello last year in Omaha. I don't know if it was after they won it all or when they got to the finals at some point. Like he literally, and I think it was after they won it all. One of the first people he thanked or referred to was Dave Van Horn. I mean, that was his mentor. So I think it's one of those. I think there's a mutual respect. I don't think they dislike each other, but. You get 2 competitors like that between the lines. Yeah, there'll be no friendly.
First off, Yeah, but I said they coached together for 10 years. So, like, there's obviously at least some respect there. And if you know anything about Tony Vitello, if you were on the other side, as fiery as he is, there is at least some day that he's going to irk you. Like, that just is what it is. So deal with it. I think there's the mutual, real respect there, and I think they just roll with it like that. Yeah, video's great. I love that.
Yeah,
He's not probably did that behind closed doors.
He's not the easiest guy to like on game day if he's not on your side.
Love the one guy with the mask that walked
That's
through there.
Vitello.
That's Vitello.
No, he had the thing. The other guy had
the
there was another guy that actually had the real mask on,
Yeah.
not the little headband.
Vitello looks like he's about to rob a train.
The look cool.
Hey, with Tony and then Liam Doyle and Andrew Fisher, there's
Bro.
going to be some chirping this weekend.
I mean, those guys. Listen to me. I saw the
Mikey,
video.
did you ever do like the Fisher around the bases? Jay Mitch, y'all ever do it like pump like the crazy? Y'all ever motion to the crowd? Y'all ever do that?
No.
No, which that wasn't even like a thing when we played, which is kind of crazy, and it's wild to see it now. But no.
No, the only thing we did was take the handoff from Javi at third base after he hit the homer.
Yeah.
That was it. We would take the handoff from our third base coach. Didn't do any of that stuff. But let me tell you this. And if you know me, Lloyd will vouch for this. Jay Mitch probably could vouch for this. Like, the antics stuff on the mound, like, you can piss me off as a hitter, right? And so, like, all those guys that get fidgety and want to talk and all this stuff, I don't care how good you are. Like, it's just, I don't love that. Like, what Liam Doyle, and I know that's what makes him good, and I'm not saying he's not good because he is, but what he was doing on the mound, coming out of the bullpen in relief, up by that much, and the guy, like, tries to call time, and he starts talking shit, and he blows him away at the 99-mile fastball. Chris, let me tell you this. If he does that to me and I end up connecting on this fastball, I'm not leaving the box. Like, they're going to have to walk me around the bases because it's just – those antics are just a lot. It's just a lot for me. And I get it. That's part of their thing, but that's a lot.
He's been doing it all year, though. He's been doing it all year. That's just who he is. He's a psycho. I mean, he's their psycho, but he is a psycho. No question.
Yeah, this is it.
And the strikeout after when he skips
y'all
off
see
the
what he
mound
mouthed,
30
right?
feet.
Y'all see what he mouthed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I did.
Here, it's about to come up.
I just don't get it. That just does nothing for me.
I mean, it's just – and, look, I get it. Like, he throws 99, blew it by him, like, good. Like, and if the guy's on my team, I'm gonna get fired up too. I will say this.
Wait, how do you watch
I will say
that?
this.
I love how Tony had to come out. He's like, he felt like he's gonna hold him back right there.
Hey, real shit. What did you think you were getting?
No doubt.
Swing and miss slider before I watched it.
No doubt.
You think he's gonna talk shit to you and then throw a curveball in there? I mean,
Listen
come on.
to me.
There's one pitch that's coming out.
If I call time to slow him down, and this pitcher starts talking shit to me like that, I am dead red 100. I'm looking 100, and I'm swinging through it. And if it's a breaking ball, great. I ain't taking that. Like, come on.
And I'm trying to hit it off the North Star too. Like that's where I'm
Listen
gonna
to me.
go.
I'm trying to hit one of those ones where the pitcher ducks and it hits off the hitter's eye. You know what I mean? Like one of those 2-iron stingers. It's just look, a lot of antics. There's gonna be some chirping. I can't wait to watch that game. There's a lot of other games I can't wait to watch. Let's talk about them. There's 16 super regionals out there, right? Yeah, 16. No.
Yep.
Regional
16 teams.
8 super regional 16 teams.
Eight super regionals. All right, let's start with the one. I mean, obviously, wow, it's now 14-2. I'm just gonna go ahead since
UNC's a wagon. UNC is a wagon.
let's just take. Hey, how's that third baseman doing? What's his numbers like this year? He was a freshman last year. He was really good. Is he balling?
Gallagher's having a good year again.
Yeah, he's balling.
He's having a good year.
Gallagher in the regional, I think they said went like 9 for 12 or something like that.
This
like
is his time. That's what he does. He did it last year in the regional.
MVP. So, yeah, they're a wagon. And that kid Jake Knapp that threw it, like he's a stud. I think he's 13-0 on the year.
Yeah, he's nasty. He only has 3 strikeouts, but he got through the 8th. Or he got 2
but
the
he
8th.
doesn't. That's the thing. He's not a big strikeout guy, but he doesn't walk guys. I think he's at like 15 walks on the whole year.
Yeah. All right. So North Carolina, I think we all agree that North Carolina gets out of this one.
Yes.
Miami at Louisville. Kind of a
That's
weird.
a coin.
Kind of a weird one.
Yeah. It's funny. There's a couple supers where I don't think those people the ballparks, they were not expecting baseball to be where they're playing. So I went with Louisville. Dude, it's a coin flip.
Yeah,
I mean, really, truly, yeah.
I like Louisville too, just because they're playing.
I'm
at
going
home.
with Louisville. Yeah, I can't really tell you why. I just got a feeling like that's just their spot.
And McDonald's a hell of a coach. That's a hell of a coach.
Florida State at Oregon State. That's a long way to go. What we got?
Give me the Beavers. Give me the Beavers. I think things are going to get weird in Corvallis. So Oregon State's played, I don't even know if they played, well, with the regional, they played more than 20 home games, but they played 16 home games all season. I think being at home, I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere. Like I said, that's a long way from Tallahassee. So the pitching matchup, it starts today. Jamie Arnold on the bump will be really fun to watch, but something tells me the Beavs at home, man. I think they find a way.
Over-under's 11.
It's a terrible travel for Florida State, but man, watching Jamie Arnold and some of those bats in that lineup, give me Florida State on this one.
Yep.
Give me Florida State on this one.
I like Florida State, and I know I wanted to pick Oregon State because of the travel, and I think I was going to say Oregon State until Chris dropped I think they only played 20 home games this year. I know it may be loud and it may be, but 20 home games, they're not used to playing in their home stadium. It's not going to be as much of a home field advantage as I initially thought. Jamie Arnold is one of the best pitchers in the country. I like. If Florida State wins, I think if Florida State wins game one, they win the whole thing.
By the way,
huh?
FSU's the betting favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the next one? Arizona at North Carolina did that one. Coastal at Auburn is the last game from today.
Boys, after my week on social media, I need Auburn to win for that.
Yeah, I saw your tweets, dude. You're kind of going through it on Twitter, huh?
Whatever. It's good for the numbers.
Yeah.
What's crazy is, and we don't have to get into it, but the bigger story. I don't know if this. I know for a fact the bigger storyline was not what happened on the field. It was the stuff that happened off the field with Kevin Schnall, Kevin O'Sullivan, the whole. Yeah. Again, we don't have to get the details of it, but things got a little sideways for your boy on social media. I mean, to the point where we're doing our Monday night live stream, watching all the games, of course the LSU game, and we comment on the Auburn Coastal Super, and I'm within an hour. There's a Coastal account clipping what I said, putting it on their time. So they are very locked in to me. So Coastal going to Omaha would be my personal hell if I got to be totally honest with you. I might have to wear a helmet, to be honest, because I don't know who I might run into. But no, in all seriousness, first ever super regional in Plainsman Park history. Not the first ever in Auburn history, but Plainsman Park history. Boys, it's going to be jumping. Coastal's a really good team. Great story. Auburn is not letting them walk in there and take that. There's no shot.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. I got Auburn. I don't know if it'll be much like what they did over the regional or if it'll be a closed series. I will tell you this. When you look at Coastal's got 2, maybe 3 guys that have 80+ innings for them. And if you go look up and down their pitching staff, listen, I understand their conference isn't what other big conferences are, but if you've ever been to Coastal, it's a damn launching pad.
Yeah.
So for them dudes to have the numbers that they have in that park, where obviously at least the majority of their games are played, is kind of crazy. So I'm interested to see what that's like going down to Auburn and play, because they don't have a great lineup, but they pitch the hell out of it. So I want to see what that's like, because Auburn's got 3, maybe 4 freshmen in the lineup. They've all been really good, but they're in the lineup, right? So you got some young guys against some experienced guys that have thrown a lot. I just want to see what that's going to be like, but I'm going to take Auburn in the series.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Coastal. And I'm sorry, I want Auburn to get there. I really do, SEC-wise. But for all those reasons that you just mentioned, Jared, I think Auburn's really good, and I think that they probably deserve to be in Omaha. But with a young lineup, and I know they're not freshmen now, but they haven't really been in the postseason play, and Coastal kind of being one of those teams outside of like these major conferences that have been regulars in postseason play, I'm going to take the pitching staff of Coastal against the younger lineup of Auburn.
Okay, Mikey, when that pick happens, I'm going to be hiring one of you three to be my bodyguard.
I think you got two better picks.
Mikey's rooting for you to have to fend people off, apparently. I guess that's where he's going.
Now, my heart wants Auburn.
My head.
But my head just, for some reason, I can't get off the Coastal. I wanted to go Auburn and really tried hard to do it, but y'all both did it, so I'm going to go opposite. And I'm not because I want you to be in any danger, Chris. I want you to be safe over there. It's a great time.
Can you scrap? Can you throw hands a little bit or what?
No, now mental warfare is probably my strong suit, so I might just make it worse.
I don't know how well we can meme them to death, but we can sure try.
I tend to start a lot of shit, then walk away, and somebody else handles it. So I don't think that's what you're looking for.
Beautiful, great. You and I are both screwed.
All right. What's the next game? Let's go Murray State Duke. That's the other weird one.
I'm going to go Duke. They were a preseason Omaha pick for me, funny enough. That was one of my dark horses. The other dark horse I had has got a new head coach at Mississippi State. So, love Chris Pollard. Love that team. I love the program he's built. I think Pollard's one of the best coaches in the country. Murray State's a great story, and they're red hot. And, Duke, all 1,500 or so of their fans that'll be there because they don't seat many more than that. They'll be rowdy, I'm sure, but I'm going to go Duke, but this is one that if you're from a gambling perspective, I think Murray State's like plus 290 to win the Super. Do not hate it. I do not hate that at all, but I'll go with Duke.
I'm going to go Murray State, man. Look, it's not because they beat an SC team. It's how they went into Oxford and beat that entire field is why I'm choosing them in this situation. And I'll take it as far back as to, they go up 12-3. They give up all these runs. It's 12-11. The righty they have on the mound. If you watch that at bat, I think when there's maybe a couple runners on and he strikes someone out to end the inning, it was a left-handed hitter too. If you watched him throw front hip two-seamers the way he did in that game over and over and over again, as they kept following him off and continued to do it, showed the kind of poise to me from him, but what their whole team did the entire weekend. And I feel like what they had to go through to get to this weekend better equips them to go into Duke and just continue rolling and continue being a wagon in that situation. So I like Murray State in this one.
I like the Murray State pick. I'm picking Duke. There's two of the stories that two of the really good stories that are still left in the Super Regionals. I can't pick both of them, and I'm picking the other one. So I'm picking Duke to win this one, to beat Murray State, to go to Omaha. And then I'll explain the other one, obviously, when we get to that game. When we make the picks. But I like Duke. I love Murray State. I love the way they're swinging the bat. Duke's hot, too. I'm going to go with the coaching staff that I'm familiar with, or the coach that has been around and done it. I'm going to go with Duke. But I think that goes to 3 games. For sure. Let's see. Tennessee, Arkansas. We got.
Ooh, hey, this one's interesting, isn't it? Oh man, I'll just say this. I've been Tennessee fans at one point thought I hated their team. I've been so high on Arkansas all year. I think you could argue they're the most complete team still in the field. Very few weaknesses when it's all clicking. Guys, it's time for me to stop doubting Tony Vitello. This is when the Vols come alive. We saw it in the regional. It's hard to beat, these teams squared off a few weeks ago. And it's interesting from that. It's like, what can you take from that series? I think both can find confidence because of this. Tennessee went in there and took game 1. They took game 1 with Marcus Phillips on the mound. Ironically enough, they lose games 2 and 3. In game 2, Liam Doyle got touched up a little bit. So I think if you're Tennessee, you look at it, we went in there and took the first game. They might think to themselves, we should have won that series and we let it get away. Arkansas on the flip side, hey, we lost game 1 and still beat y'all. So I think it's going to go to 3 games. I think the emotions are going to be running, but God, I'm going with Rocky Top. I think the Vols get back and they go into the hog pen. It's been a long time, like you said, since they've beaten Arkansas in a series, maybe even longer since they won in Fayetteville. Streaks have to come to an end. So I'm going to ride Tennessee. Something in my gut just tells me it is a coin flip, but I'm going with the Vols.
I absolutely hate that I found out what I found out about Tennessee and Arkansas and the streaks and the history of it, because I've been yelling Arkansas all damn year. I think they're a really good ball club. I think it's one of the best ball clubs they've had in a long time, and they get to do this thing at home. So I'm staying on it.
Yeah.
But I know very well, with what I know about these streaks, that it could go there. I'm staying right on it.
Listen,
Arkansas's
streaks are made to be broken. I'm with you, Chris. This ain't happening this weekend. I'm on Arkansas. I think Arkansas takes it at home. Fayetteville, that stadium is electric, especially during postseason time. Like I don't think it gets enough credit, as much credit as it deserves. I think it's going to be wild. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be very chippy. But I believe Arkansas wins this game. I think they are the better team. I think top to bottom, depth-wise, everything that you look for, I think Arkansas is better. I'm going to go Arkansas to beat Tennessee and move on. All right. 2 games left. UTSA at UCLA.
2 teams we've been keeping an eye on all year.
Right here.
What's that?
This is my mid-pick right
That
here.
was mine. That's why I didn't take Murray State.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I'll go as far as say this. If an SEC team doesn't win it all, I hope UTSA somehow makes a run and wins the whole thing. I'd love to see it. I love this UTSA team. Again, they were my pick in the regional, which felt like a bit of a reach, and it turned out to be a very smart pick by yours truly. Love the way they swing it. UCLA, a really good team, too. Obviously, it's UCLA. They're going to pitch. They can really swing it this year as well. But, man, I'm going with UTSA. I think one of these mid-majors is going to get it. I really do. I think one of them, certainly one of the 3 in these supers, I think one of them will get it. I think it's UTSA. So I'm gonna roll with the Roadrunners.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to go to mid-majors, especially one with pretty far travel. I'm going to take the powerhouse, the team that's been there, has done it before. I'm going to take UCLA in this situation. Like you said, they pitch it well. I think they'll show up and do that at home. I think they'll find their way in Omaha.
I'm taking UTSA. I think that, offensively, they have been as good as anybody throughout the course of the year. Like, they swing the shit out of it. UCLA, they have a guy that's got 23 homers. Like they swing it. They're a really good team. Obviously, they're playing at home. Home field advantage is not a thing there. I will just say that. Like, they have no fans. They don't show up to the games.
At Jackie Robinson Ballpark that way. How dare you?
Listen, we went there in 2010. They had to bring in bleachers for us. Like, they get no fans. Right now, the team is good. Right, the travel going out there. That's a little bit of a home field advantage, if you would, so to say. A lot of distraction out there in LA, but I don't believe playing at home, and specifically for them, is a home field advantage. But UTSA swings the crap out of it. They have a bunch of guys that can hit. They figure out ways to score different runs. I think that's the story that we see in Omaha. I like them. I'm riding with them. And look, they very well could make it, and Murray State could very well make it. It was very tight, but I had to pick one of them, and I think I like this one. I don't know if I'm super high on UCLA either.
I'm not. I just think they're there.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm really not.
Yeah.
J. Mitch is in love with the logo. J. Mitch is falling in love with the logo.
I just picked Murray State, damn it. I don't even know what they are. I don't even know what the mascot is.
The Racers, man.
There you go. Them boys in Omaha. You heard me.
The last game, LSU, West Virginia.
Come on, man.
Come
on, man. No, Kate Anderson, Anthony Ianson, and I believe it will be Case and Evans if it got to that point in Game 3. But, again, to reference back to what you guys said, I think what will be interesting, how does Jay manage the pitching staff? Does he go for the throat if you got an opportunity to close it out on Sunday? Does he bring Case and Evans out and kind of say, hey, let's not let it get to Game 3? After what those guys did in the regional, and then Anthony Ianson coming back on Monday and what he did, it's just really – nobody's got a 1-2 punch like LSU. And, guys, when you were talking about the lineup, I don't care where he hits, where they put him in the lineup. I think Bear Jones got his swagger back.
I hope so.
I think a Big Bear weekend. Big Bear weekend, LSU at home. West Virginia ain't walking to the box and winning that series. So does it get to 3 games is really my only question. I got a lot of confidence. And like I said, I think you should when you got Anderson, Ianson back-to-back. So, I love LSU in this spot. When I saw the draw, I loved LSU being at home postseason baseball in Baton Rouge. it'd take a special team to come in there and beat them. And I think West Virginia is very good, but I don't see LSU getting knocked out at this point.
Jay?
Give me the fellas, man. I'm not even going into no damn explanation. You're going to Omaha, damn it.
Hey.
That's it.
Hey.
Questions.
I got LSU. I got LSU as well. I got LSU in 2. I think they sweep it. I think they win the first 2 games. You got the potential, based off mock drafts that just released, the potential number 1 overall pick in the draft in Cade Anderson on the mound on Saturday. And then you got a potential another first rounder right behind him who's got better numbers. I don't know if y'all saw that, but MLB or whoever just dropped their mock draft, very reputable site, just dropped their updated mock draft, and they have Cade Anderson going 1 overall. So when you have that time, and look, you know what's wild? He's not even up for this
Golden Spikes.
The Golden Spikes. The best pitcher in the country, 1 overall pick.
Gonna give you guys some groundbreaking analysis here for keys for LSU. Offensively, hit with runners in scoring position. That was the only thing that held you back in that one Little Rock game. And at times this season for the LSU offense, I think that's been the thing that's held them back. And the other, when you lost, just throw strikes.
Yep.
You just can't walk 11 guys in a game and win. So, again, it's a West Virginia team, very scrappy, very blue-collar. But LSU, I think, would have to help them out in that regard. Play sloppy baseball to probably even get it to a third game or obviously lose the series. So the boys will be locked in. You're at the home field. I mean, Alex Box will be jumping. We know that. Chance with Omaha on the line. I see LSU playing close to, if not their best version of baseball.
Yep, LSU in 2, and that's it. Those are the picks. What do you got? What we got this weekend plan wise as far as the games? How are y'all watching it? Jared, I know you're working,
Yeah, I'll be in the studio for the most of it.
so you get good.
I think tomorrow's game I'll actually be able to watch.
Is
myself.
Mo with you?
Yeah. No, not this weekend.
Oh, nice.
You got your suits picked out for the weekend, Jamin?
I do.
Laid out.
Hey, my prediction for the weekend, Jay Mitch is going to look fresh. He's going to be dripped out.
That's a pretty good one.
That's it. Now, we know that's a lock. That's
Minus-
the lock of the weekend.
Minus 5,000 on that one. Yeah,
Count it.
no doubt. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Can't go to the game tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm going to be the game's at 1, so I can't do that, but I'll be watching it. I will be at the game on Sunday. Tailgate will be up and rolling. 5 o'clock game on Sunday. RV will be out there. We'll be doing it like we normally do for the big games. Lloyd will be out there scheming, plotting, doing his thing, getting into the stadium club.
Yep.
I mean, Champions Club.
Hey, all about the people you know.
He might be in the stadium club too. He might be in the stadium club too. You never know.
Shit, he may be watching it from Tiger Stadium, from the fucking nosebleeds over there.
I'm trying to get in the lineup.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if you can make that one work.
Lloyd's been on more private jets than I have, so there you go.
Well, Lloyd's private jet guy may be back on the golf course, so he may not be able to fly him from Dallas to.
But they say once you get in with one, like there's a network, so Lloyd will be able to, he'll be able to find his way there somewhere.
It's a part of the airport you go to when you're in the PJ section.
Yeah.
So he's
I don't know.
The FBO airport.
Yeah, you just go to the back.
Yeah, I got you. All right, we got
Easy flight to Omaha.
Easy flight. We got our mistake of the day. Look,
We do.
okay.
A couple of options for mistake of the day, but I've settled on this one because I didn't see this until just now, and we didn't mention it when we broke down the Duke series. This is an unfortunate event. The NCAA can't seem to get out of its own way in pretty much every regard possible. But there is a Duke player that was ejected.
Oh yeah, for the sliding at home.
No, he brought a construction
Oh
helmet
no,
out
that's right.
2 feet
Stupid.
onto the field. And
Did they overturn it?
Not yet. It's under appeal. But as of now, he was ejected, and AJ Gracia, apparently their best player, is now suspended for the first game of the Super Regional as of now. So mistake of the day to these stupid rules.
Hey, it goes great with Jay Murray State pick.
Yes, it does. But listen, I know why they made the rules. No props outside. The fact that they called that an actual
How'd he catch him?
He was utilizing the prop like he was 2 steps out of the dugout. Get
a grip.
Let's use some common sense, please.
And they have a chance to do that if it's appealed and turned around.
If history is if history repeats itself, NCAA is not going to overturn
No.
it because they don't really fix their mistakes. They double down on their mistakes, and that's not good. All right, curtain call.
Am I going to take it?
Yeah,
yeah.
you
The
start it
Tennessee third baseman still isn't playing, right? I haven't figured that one out. He's still under appeal.
Well, he shouldn't play.
I know. I get that. They
Yeah.
got that one right.
Yeah, they did get that one right.
I mean, curtain call. Lil Wayne, Carter 6.
Ah,
It is what it is. If you like it, you like it. A lot of
Yeah.
old Wayne in there. A lot of not so good songs, but they're still there's still vintage Wayne in there. So if you like him, if you like listening to Lil Wayne, if you remember, if you're a Carter 3 son like I was, or it was Carter 2, but then my era, first CD ever that I ever bought for the first car I ever had, and that was just, it never changed. It stayed in the rotation forever. And so now we're at the Carter 6, and there's still some good in there. We need to scrap it a bit, produce it up totally different, but the lyrics were good. Wayne can still rap. You got to stop singing.
yeah.
Take
All
the
right.
auto-tune away. But there's a good, it's like Medellin in Entourage. The trailer's great. There's a good movie in there. We just got to have to reorder some things around.
Correct.
As someone who was carried through his freshman year of college by the No Ceiling
Absolutely.
mixtape, I am through. Thanks.
Yes.
That No Ceilings mixtape will forever live.
I will say this:
in-
this album is not like that. Like, it's not where, I mean, it's good. It's fine. There's some good songs on, but the No Ceilings album is like, let's just keep this one in the car
Forever.
for the next 3 months, and that's the only thing that's gonna be playing in my car.
Yeah, that's just what they need to do with some of these Carter 6 songs. Put a different beat behind them, and then just go No Ceilings with it, and you'll be fine.
Correct. Jay, you got one?
Yeah, I mean, let's make this easy. I'm not gonna make this too hard, right? Like, there's 8 tickets getting punched this weekend.
Yep.
Like, what else could you be looking for in the middle of summer right now, right? It's Supers weekend. One of those tickets, I hope, is the boys down in the box tonight, starting tomorrow night, obviously. But yeah, 8 tickets getting punched this weekend. It's a good time. I've had the opportunity to do that twice. It is a very fond memory of mine. I know there's 8 more memories being introduced this weekend, if you will. So yeah.
I like it.
Oh, we did have a question.
Oh,
Real quick, I wanted to ask it, but he asked it early in the chat. Paul Zarang, he said, fun question asked towards the end. Would you rather go to Game 2 of a Super Regional or Bama at night in Death Valley?
Game 2 of a Super Regional.
Like a closeout game in a Super Regional at the box.
Oh, go to, like, attend.
Right. Or Saturday night, Death Valley, Alabama.
Well, I mean, does LSU win the LSU Alabama game?
What? No, you just get to go watch. You don't know what the result is.
That's tough. I
don't think it's that hard.
think Game 2.
Yeah, a closeout game at a Super Regional.
Yeah,
You've
at
done
home.
so much throughout the year. And
Yeah.
to get to that point and be able to have it at home, like, that's a hard thing to earn.
Hopefully I'm there on Sunday.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's a closeout game
Me
on
too.
Sunday.
It's-
I got the experience, both boys.
What do you say?
Yeah, I got to experience both, boys.
Yeah, I think Game 2. Y'all want to answer?
Yeah. It's a question for
I'd say
all.
Game 2. I'd take Game 2, close it out, and go to Omaha. Yeah. I mean, winning a regular season game is awesome. There's nothing like Death Valley at night. Punching that ticket, the last one at the home field,
Yeah.
punching that ticket to go to the promised land. There's just nothing like that.
We're seeing a good ball game. Yeah, maybe give me Game 2 as well.
Yeah. All right, my curtain call. Taylor Lewan.
Oh.
Not the pitch, the reaction after, and him just facing the music and him being in the media and him just, really, really embracing the embarrassment of the first pitch of a professional football player. What made it even worse for him is his co-host, Will Compton, threw it right down the middle. So, not great. Not a great look for Taylor, but the way he has responded to it and the way he has embraced it that's the curtain call. Not great. Yeah. Not great. Look at him. Look at him. He knew it too. He's like, damn it, push-ups. And then, I don't know if this, they don't have
it just has
they
this
just have
one,
that one.
yeah.
Yeah. Not great, but, he's doing what he should do, and he's taking it in stride, and he's using it as great content for his show. So, shout out to him. And shout out to y'all for always making our show beautiful. Appreciate you, Chris, tuning in as always. Looking forward to this.
Do I get a curtain call here? Can I get a curtain
Oh,
call?
yeah. My bad.
It's all good. It's all good.
My bad.
My curtain call is Uber.
Hey.
Uber driver. It is CMA Fest this weekend in Nashville. Wow. They will be being utilized at a very high clip. So, curtain call to all the Uber drivers that are going to make bank and be very, very busy into the wee hours of the night, getting everyone home safe.
What about the
CMA
pedicabs?
Fest. I got told, they're like, man, this is a crazy week. I'm like, the what now?
Y'all got pedicabs out there too? Like the guys on bikes?
Yes. Shout out to all of the transportation.
Yeah.
Getting everyone, got the scooters too. But, CMA Fest here in Nashville this weekend. It's already been a pretty raucous time.
I can imagine.
Which, funny enough, people have told me how crazy it is, and I'm like, I don't understand how much crazier it could get. But we may or may not be finding that out. So, anyways,
I hope you do.
Curtain call Uber. And
I hope you do.
Look, public transportation.
Yeah.
Getting folks where they need to go this week.
Nothing better than being on Broadway Street absolutely hammered on a scooter.
Yeah.
You just have a blast.
Listen, sometimes I take the pedicab over that. But great weekend for you. Curtain call to you because you're about to have a weekend. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We love y'all. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us. We're anywhere you get your pods. Chris, appreciate you. J. Mitch, appreciate you. Can't wait to see you looking sharp. Watch you looking. I can't even talk.
Here we go.
He
He gets nervous. Oh, he's Tyrese Halliburton.
Watch you on TV looking sharp. There we go. See y'all on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. We love y'all. Peace.
Go Tigers.
Go the boys. Grab the boys. Go Tigers.
Oh, I thought we were going to get a thumbs.
Oh, just that one. It's all right.
Expect a big super regional weekend. Damn.
Oh. Saving it for next week.
That's right. Love you, boys. Love your show. Love the club.
See y'all.